I would firstly like everybody to just close their eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes for a moment. Don't worry. I would like you to imagine your greatest expression, the greatest vision of who you are, your dreams, your ambitions, your goals. That version of you, imagine that. I want you to bring that picture, that image of who you are. Just bring it down to this reality, bring it here. Whether it sits next to you, whether he or she's on your lap, it doesn't really matter, it's up to you. You decide. You may open your eyes now. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm here today to tell you something interesting. I'm here to tell you something which should be easy to tell, but actually isn't. I'm here to tell you that you are an idea worth spreading. I'm here to tell you that you are important. I'm here to tell you that you matter. Like I said, it should be easy. I mean, it should be easy, but I've realized recently that it's actually a difficult thing because we live in a society nowadays that's influenced and propelled by so much self-hate. We don't know who we are anymore. It's always about if you want to be like this, do this. If you want to be like me, act like that. If you want this, be that. And life becomes this thing. I mean, we don't know. It's hard. Because more than anything, number one, we didn't choose to be here. I mean, we were just here, and then 4 years old, it was like, bam, succeed. Do this, be great, get married. Like, all of a sudden, we were just frantic. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so it becomes tough sometimes, and that's what the law of rhythm is. It's ups and downs. After winter must come summer. After day must come night. It's just how it is. So I'm here today to give you something. I'm here to give you a gift. Because it's not about me. I wish it was about me. Damn, I look good. But I wish it was about me, but it's about you. I'm here to give you a gift just to play the game a bit better, because life is a game. It's about how you respond to it. I'm here to give you the juice. Because we are not used to hearing good things about ourselves. We are so used to hearing bad things. We do all that we do in our lives to avoid criticism. We try to avoid criticism so much that, you know, when we hear something good about ourselves, you know, it blows our minds for like 2 seconds. Someone comes to you and says, hey man, you look good. 2 seconds, your mind is like, what just happened? What just happened? And the first thing most people do is that they return the compliment. Oh, so do you. Then you walk away and you're like, actually, yeah. So, how do I know that you're important? The World Bank is this random bank in the world somewhere. No one knows where it is, but it's somewhere. It doesn't have colors, there's no bank cards, no one knows where it is. But they have the weirdest people that actually work there. I mean, those guys are always projecting the craziest numbers ever. They always come and tell you, okay, by the year 3000, we're going to have 10 trillion people running around. And we're just like, cool, great. It's almost like the dinosaur theory. It's always 65 million. When is it ever going to be 65 million and one? I mean, we're never getting this thing right, are we? It's been 65 million years since I was in grade 6. I mean, hello. Can we update the system? So the World Bank, basically, they project and they estimate the population going forward. And what they've done is that, how they do it is they take the amount of people through a census, and they count the people, those they can find. They basically increase, or they add the birth rate, subtract the death rate, add the amount of immigrants that move into a country and the immigrants that leave a country over a specific amount of time, and they gather those numbers up and they can estimate the population going forward. They add that, all the populations of the planet, all the countries, and they can say, okay, cool, that's what's going to happen going forward. What they also can do is basically retrospectively estimate the population. They can now, or they claim now that up until this point right now, there have been 100 billion human beings on this planet. 100 billion human beings. Let me just make you understand, let me make you land to this. That is 100,000 million human beings on this planet, including us. We are only 7% of existence, according to them. That is a lot of sex. That is a hell of a lot of sex. Human beings have had a lot of sex. This is the truth. Let's be real. But you realize something that was very interesting. You realize, okay, wait a minute. So we are 7%. There's been 100,000 million people. We are here. Life has to be then this big ball of causality. It has to be this big domino effect, isn't it? Because think about it this way. We are here today. We didn't create the towns we have today. We didn't create the New York, the Londons, the Johannesburgs, the Pretorias. We were just born into those things. It means then that people that came before us shaped our reality today. They had to. It only makes sense. And if that is the influence we're using, it only then means that what we do today has to influence the future. The children born today are born with smartphones and LTE. They don't know what it's like to have dial-up. They don't know what it's like to have the phones the size of God knows what. They don't know. It means we affect everything. We clearly influence. We are clearly helping this whole thing move across. But you don't care about that. You don't. You don't care about stats. Who cares about stats anymore? Your question now is, why do I think you're important? Why? I've just said now that nothing happens by accident. The universe could not have, nothing can be coincidental or just by itself and it's like, oh, here it is, there's another life. No, it's all planned, it's all moving, it's all one motion. Side note. So during the day, I am an inventor, I am a writer, I am a speaker. By night, I become Llewellyn the mosquito slayer. And it's real, I get paid for this. The other night, I had just successfully slain my 3rd mosquito. Very proud of myself. But I asked myself, hang on a minute. I mean, okay, here we are. This is really irritating me. It's 2 a.m. Like, really? And I was like, Mr. Mosquito, let's talk about this thing, because this is irritating. I mean, mosquitoes are the worst species to ever exist on the planet. I mean, they are the biggest joke to humanity and mammals. I mean, can we agree? So obviously, I was like, okay, cool. I need to understand this, because it's like, Mr. Mosquito, let's talk about this. Just, I've got blood. Do what you have to do. Just don't have the buzzing sound. Just don't make me itch the next morning, like pick a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. So obviously I'm a curious person. I want to know why the hell these things exist. And obviously my good friend Google is very faithful. You know, Google, why do mosquitoes exist? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And obviously Google is very quick. It's, you know, I've got LTE, I'm on that. And it's like, okay, cool. It's very easy. It's like, listen, Llewellyn, the truth is that mosquitoes are really just here to feed the aquatic animals and the birds. They just form part of the food chain. I mean, that's really all they're here to do. Their only goal is to survive for the 4 or 5 weeks that they actually exist in. They don't really matter. It's okay. So I was like, okay, thanks. Okay, now I know. But I still hate them, but okay. But hang on a minute. Mosquitoes, the worst species, the most irritating species we know till this day. I mean, no one could have left them on the damn boat. He could have said, we're done here. We're done. But the worst species, the most hated species on the planet, have a purpose. They are important. They form somewhere. They are somewhere in this great scheme of everything. What about you? Surely then you must have been part of the plan. Surely you must have been in the intention of creation from the beginning. And so we're so concerned about where we come from, where we're going. This is very simple. I can solve this. Where we come from, we don't know. Done. Where we're going, it's easy. The only way to know where what happens after this is to experience it. The only way to experience it is to die. If someone here can literally just, you know, volunteer, go there, give us a call, we'll be good. I'll tell them. But forget about that. This means then that this moment right here, what's happening right now here is ultimately all that matters. This means that you, me, we, are what the universe is currently doing right now. In the next 5 minutes, you'll clap for me, but it's not happened yet. Which means what's happening here is all that we have. Wow, that is intense. That is crazy. Because then you begin to realize that, well, the universe can really do whatever it wants. It's created mosquitoes, it's created us, it's created every other thing out there, and so on and so forth. It can really do what it wants. And so you realize that, okay, we had Steve Jobs and we had the iPhone. And you realize that the universe didn't really need Steve Jobs to create the iPhone. Why would it take a risk on Steve Jobs? I mean, it could have just made iPhones right from the sky. I mean, hello, boom. But it cared about Steve, it cared about you, it cared about you. Which means that you are the function of creation. What you do with your life is the derivative. It doesn't really matter, it's up to you. You choose what you want to do with your life. But you are the part that fits into this puzzle of creation. You have to be. And if we're all affecting each other, and if we're all here, and we're all just moving along from 0 to 100,000 million people, it means then that, you know, we are influencing each other, we are touching each other, we are impacting, expressing, we are influencing everything around us. Which means that you are the universe in motion. You have to be. You have to be the eyes, the ears, and the nose of the universe right now, because that's all we have. Wow, that is intense. Because then you realize that, you know, we're all here, you know, and we're affecting each other, like I said, and we're influencing each other. But like, you realize that if this moment is all that creation is waiting for, and we are really owning this moment and we're pivoting around this moment, it means that creation has to adapt to you. Creation adapts to you. If you decide to shoot somebody or someone shoots someone that you love, you're going to go report that to the police. The police must change their whole lives next week, get you here, the court dates must be booked, there has to be space set up in the prisons for you to be there, and you have to be there for however many years there are until someone decides to let you go, and now you're mind blown because what happened to life? But you see that one action effect, it's a domino effect, it just keeps going. That is intense. That is like, what? Which means you are here. You are actually right here because all you're doing is helping this big thing of everything, this expression of this experience of life, keep growing and keep growing. You are helping the universe be itself. That's what you're doing. That's who you are. But you don't care about that. You don't. I'm saying all these crazy things, but you don't care about it. You don't. I mean, I understand. Your question now is, Llewellyn, okay, you've said this to us. Now what? Now what? And this is the part you guys are going to hate me because I don't know. I didn't come here to give you the answers. I didn't. I came here to make you aware. I came here to make you conscious of your place here because that's what it is. I came here to tell you that, well, you're already on the universe's to-do list. And you are here and you are going to be alive until further notice. And until that moment, you might as well be intentional about your life. Why should you be accidental about it? Rather be intentional. I mean, you already are here. I didn't come here to excite you, to make you feel good about your life and to say, go be great, you know, let's just change the world, you know. I came here to say that you have to figure it out. You are the one that must decide how far you're going to go, how far you're taking this thing, how big you want to take it. You must decide, are you going to give the person that you brought down from your imagination that's sitting in this room right now next to you, on top of you or around you, a chance? It's up to you. You decide. You're going to live anyway, so whether you do it or not, we'll know, you'll know, maybe you'll call me. But you are here. And when you decide to figure this out and you realize you have to figure it out, there's so out of everything to figure out in the world right now, in the creations that we have, the only place to start looking is here. Because when you start looking within, you realize that the answers are always here to begin with. I mean, it's like they were all here. The memo was here. And then you find your place in existence. You find your place in creation. You find your place in the experience that is life. It's an experience. That's all it is. We don't know what else it is. We're trying to have all these beliefs, all these speculations, but it actually just is an experience. You're experiencing right now, I'm experiencing you. That's all we know. And you realize then that, well, the universe is going to keep creating. It's going to keep expanding. It's going to just keep growing until the supreme creator / the master / God decides to say, hang on a minute, it's cool now. I think we're good. But until that day, you are it. You are what the universe is currently doing right now. The universe in motion, an idea was spreading. And all you have to do is embrace it. Boom.